Good morning, everyone. Um, Welcome back to Quarantine Tales with me, Mr. Bates. Firstly, many thanks for all of you who got your philosophy in on time, and thank you for your continued effort with this difficult stuff. Hopefully, you've probably realised that we're living in something close to a state of nature at the moment, and that it's the social contract itself is more important than ever to try and maintain some kind of social cohesion, and so the whole thing doesn't just descend into chaos. But enough scaring you. Let's move on to this week. Um, this week's task is gonna go over a longer period of time, but is in fact shorter than the previous ones. Okay, so first thing is I don't want you to stress about it, I don't want you to worry, okay, but it needs to be done in the case that we need to use the content in the future. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we are going to essentially compare and evaluate different philosophers' conceptions of the state of nature and the social contract and try and reflect on our own opinions and own understandings of these. Okay, so the first thing I want you to go and do is to click on this document. This whole document says 4th Media Week 3, which will be uploaded to Classroom along with this video. You're going to click on this thing in blue, okay? Miss Kylie made a document that is a really helpful, handy summary of the 4 philosophers that you collectively were asked to look at, their conceptions of the state of nature and the social contract. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is just go over the one that you had in the first week and see if you got everything right and just clarify your understanding where your teachers suggested that you clarify your understanding. Okay, so maybe you thought that Hobbes thought everything was fairly nice in the state of nature. You are wrong. Okay, it was nasty, brutal, and short, and everyone wanted to kill everyone. Okay, so you've gone back, you've checked that, great. And then what I'd like you to do is read through all the others and make note of any differences, okay? In which way is Rousseau different from Hobbes in their conception of the state of nature? They're very different, actually, so check it out, okay? And why are you looking at this? Why are we wanting you to compare these philosophers? Well, you're going to use this information to decide which philosophers' conceptions of the state of nature and the social contract you agree with and which you disagree with. And when you're looking at this, I want you to be thinking about forming answers to the following questions. Which do you believe is the most similar to how humans really behave, and which is the least similar to how humans behave, and why? Okay, so based on your experience of reality, what you see in your own life, what you see in your own society, which conception is the closest to what you have experienced? Okay, and which is the least close to your experience, which is the furthest away from your own personal experience? Which philosopher's head is in the clouds and with their feet firmly not on the ground? And then you're trying to think kind of in the future in a made-up utopian scenario, which conception of the state of nature and social contract would you most like to see in an ideal world? Okay, whose version of the social contract do you think would be best for humanity? And which would you least like to see? Okay, this is different to the other question because you're asking it more from a planning point of view. Okay, which would you like to see as opposed to which do you currently see? I would like you to make sure all of your answers are explained using examples from the real world where possible. An example of this might be the following. I believe Montesquieu is right regarding humans' naturally fearful state as seen in the recent coronavirus pandemic, where we are perhaps most fearful of a breakdown of societal norms instead of a virus. Okay? At this point, I have not asked you to write anything down. Please note that. What I want you to do with your answers to these questions is use them to make a voice recording or a short video explaining your answers to these questions. Okay? It may help you to make some brief notes and have them in front of you when you make your voice recording, but what we're trying to do is to lessen the amount of writing you need to do and also to enable you to practice oratorical/speaking skills. Full disclosure, myself and Miss Kylie had a debate whether or not oratorical is a word. I've decided that even if it's not, it should be. Okay? So you're practicing different skills, you're not writing so much, and all I want you to do is speak your answers to those questions. They're up there. And you should be aiming for a minimum of 2 minutes and a maximum of 5 minutes. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make mistakes. You can stumble. You can murmur a lot. You can do what I do and just go make sarcastic comments, jokes, etc. But it's relatively laid back, relatively straightforward, but it needs to be done. Okay, and I want you to upload your recording to Classroom by Thursday the 9th of April. That is not this Thursday, that is the following Thursday. Okay, so you have about 10 days to do that. Okay, you make sure you ask questions if you have them on the document, and also make sure that you have attended your meet sessions and you come to those prepared with questions. Okay, we are on currently what is called my quarantine calendar. I just wanted to share the alliteration pun with you there. But you'll notice the 4DEF have their meeting at 11 to 11:40 on Tuesday, and 4ABC have theirs on Friday. Okay, so please make sure that you attend your respective meetings with your teachers and that you come to those with questions or concerns. Okay, no problem to ask questions, no problem to be a little bit confused. Okay, there is a problem if you're emailing us late at night on the day of the deadline and you have not taken the advantage of asking us questions directly. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say to you. I hope that in some point in the near future we can see each other again, and we will keep you posted on what is happening with regards to future work. But keep it up. Try and get up and about. Try and at least leave your room once a day. Shower. Eat healthily. Read a book. I don't know. Yeah. Have a great day. How do I stop?